Okay, folks, happy Tuesday. Let's see what we can knock out today. Okay, so this is the last batch of the bricks. And let's go ahead and get all these little guys that happen to be stuck on here. And we'll put these in a bag. I know we're gonna end up losing one or two, but I'm pretty happy with the color, how these turned out. It started to look kind of south when I got them, and then like it was going south. Okay, that's all of that. There was one or two that was stuck on something, wasn't it? Yeah, they're stuck at the bottom of this. This is the paint water. Yeah, see, here's one here, right here. Here's another. Here's a little one. I actually like the mixture of the sizes. If I had to buy more, whenever that comes around to happening, I like mixing the 187th and the 172nd ones together. I didn't do that on purpose. That's just availability wise. So yeah, these are definitely darker. Oh, and they're like stuck together a little bit. Well, the heaviest amount of black paint on them. I actually don't mind that they're like in little clumps. So let's have them join their comrades. Comrade bricks. So the only thing that I learned about doing this is it's not worth doing Nuln Oil. And it's not worth doing, I was going to say Agrax Earthshade. I haven't called it that in a long time because I don't use that anymore. But yeah, Strong Tone, it's not worth using. Like a brick burrito. Hey, Marcus. This is the end of the bricks, and this batch is definitely the darkest. Thank you for doing the figure deep dive this weekend. It was awesome. I got more to do. I may just do that tonight. I enjoyed it because it was just stuff in there I didn't even know I had. Look, I found like a tank crew. The Soviets. Should I do the Soviets tonight? Maybe I should do that. I don't really feel like painting. I do feel like talking shop. This turned out really well. This turned out really, really well. You know, working on this 20 millimeter stuff has taught me one thing. If I don't like the results of something, just stay on it. Like, you know, it took me forever to figure out how I was going to do the trees. forever. But it's like, there's got to be a way to play and not show those stupid stumps. Those stumps look bad on everybody's trees. I only wish the magnets were even stronger because I bought some felt. And the felt already has some multitude of colors in there. It already has some modeling, so to speak. And that would have been nice to do. But I guess I could do it if I wasn't going to have like a big group of trees. The other thing I thought about is cut out a little piece of cloth, do the felt, cut out a piece of cloth, paint it like groundwork, and then put the and then take the shims and put them underneath that. But and this just matches out. Just matches out really well. Let's see if I can grab something without it falling the frick down. Yeah. Yep. I can't wait to buy more. Well, I don't think I'm going to buy more in this color. If I need them, it's because I've got different color brick. And look at this destroyed thing yeah. And we've got, where's our sticks? Where's our bundle of sticks? No, they're around here somewhere. So typical what happens is the girls leave and I have all these great ideas. Oh, I'm gonna get this done, I'm gonna do the other thing, and none of it happens. Because everything takes a lot longer than you think. I mean, how long have I started working on this 20 millimeter stuff? A couple years now? Let's see what you guys say. You like the rubble? Definitely go in that direction. Just finished painting a squad of Soviets from the original 70s Airfix kit. My friend gave them to me when I was in Virginia. The poses are just a little soft on those guys. All right, let's do a Soviet deep dive. Okay? Let's do that. I'm in the mood for that. We're going to move these guys off to the side. This is my British tank crew. And, plus Hoffman the rifleman. And then here is, we need some more lights, man. We can't do this. We can't do this without some superior lighting. Oh, and for that I need to. Good, I'm glad you like it. I want people to be, this isn't like, hey, watch me do what I want to do. I mean, it is, but if it's, if it benefits other folks, absolutely. I love talking figures. Hey, that's the name of the channel. Figuratively speaking. All right, that should have enough juice now to power this. These guys just need tufts on them. Yeah. Top heavy motherfucker. You wonder why other people have broken phones. They don't put them in a case. It's still top heavy. Why? What's wrong with you? Let's see. Let's use some common sense. Let's make the back lower than the front. Well, that didn't work. Let's just lower everything. There we go. Make the footprint bigger. All right. I took my contacts out. I was outside for 2 hours or so in the yard, and I was sweating so much I got a freaking rash from swamp ass, and my eyes were burning because I got sweat underneath my. I don't know why sweat makes if your sweat gets underneath your contacts, it stings like all hell. I'm like, I don't understand. It's like it's your bodily. Okay, we got to do better than that. We got to do better than that. Okay, yeah, this is. Yeah, he specifically has a greener. He's got the stone gray trousers and a greener top, as opposed to this guy that's more field gray all around kind of thing. And like this guy, these have some really good faces. Good old Dave Alsop. You got any Alsop's figures? That's what got me into this scale. If it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for dudes that look like this, man, it makes you play. It makes you want to play a World War II game, man. Look, he's even got his rank on there. I forget what that is. I think it's private first class or something like that. Just a little nugget on his arm. That's why I got into this. Those sculpts. All right. The commie bastards. All right. Is this thing down here? Let's see. The commie bastards. Yes. Why does the screen look dull? Let's brighten this up. I swear I have it defaulted to be the brightest, and it doesn't listen to me. This is coming this way, so let me feed this cord out behind it, so we don't have a situation. All right. Okay, come on. You good? All right. And let's put this about where it was, because it seemed to work really well this weekend where it was located. All right. The Soviets. And there is all kinds of stuff here. A lot of this stuff isn't made anymore. There's some great figures. There's some dogs. All right. Let's see what we have here. And they may already be sorted, but I'm going to sub-sort them if that's the case. So, let's do the shitty figures first. Okay? Let's do the shitty figures first. So it's not these. Well, actually, this is a different situation. I got some stuff here you guys have never seen before, probably. Maybe you have. And that, right? All right, let's start with uninspiring figures first. You have very few combat miniatures, but I do have the one blonde hair that you just showed. Any Eastern Front face of battle scenarios in the making? So, the easiest scenario to do, the scenarios that come in the face of battle rules for the Eastern Front kind of suck. Actually, most of the scenarios that come in the face of battle, that come in the game, suck. There's lots of scenarios that are pretty decent that come in the skirmish campaigns, of which I have like 5 or 6 books for the Soviets. 5 for sure. I got 3 early war ones, and these books. Now, this one in particular, this Skirmish Campaigns Normandy 44, First Hours, absolutely sucks for me. Because it's either paratroopers or like naval landing shit. So it's like, this is the most useless book that I have of all of them. I'm not going to do naval landing stuff. And I'm not big on paratroopers. Because the paratroopers, if paratroopers show up, they're not going to have any tank support. I mean, they do eventually, like if you're doing, but in Normandy, they're not going to have tank support in any of those scenarios. So you're basically, you're eliminating the fact that they could have any combined arms. All right. There's some scenarios here for North Africa that are almost all vehicles. Okay, and I've got some nice Africa-looking mats. Oh, look, we've looked into maybe what things we need to build for some of these scenarios. Actually, I was bored, so I took everything in the skirmish campaigns and basically listed how many of each vehicle I needed to have to do all of them. Yeah, sometimes I create little exercises for myself, you know. So this is a Ghosts of Smolensk. This one is Into the Ukraine, so it's similar. This is all 1941 stuff. And the third one is, where is the third one? Minsk? Drive on Minsk. Yeah, there's Minsk, Smolensk, and into the Ukraine. Yeah, it threw me off with it being red. So, there's some decent stuff on here. It's supposedly these maps that are included in here are 1 foot by 1 foot squares. Some of it becomes suspect when you're looking at a map like this. This is a map, for instance, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a 4 by 5 map. And look at the terrain. It is a Bahamian clusterfuck. Okay? That's, I think, too unrealistic. Here's one. It's called Bypass Ambush. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 by 4. This is a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, a 4 by 5. Okay? Look at what this terrain is. It's basically all wooded except the path. In the middle of the path, there is a stream and a marsh. There's a marsh over here. There's a stream that cuts through here. Here is the other one's a road, right? Yep, dirt road. All right, and then what do we have here? A field with crops and a house, which is very small because it only would be maybe 4 inches by 3 inches. I guess that's not too small. And then there's a stream that leads to a marsh over here. All right. And in this bypass ambush, oh, this is not the one I'm thinking of. That one's okay. That is mostly infantry. One of these that's like a really cluster like that. It has like a ton of vehicles in it. Look at this. This is a 4 by 5 map. Look how many things are on there. That's a lot. Light woods, a gully. So I think maybe it's just an inspiration maybe for what the size of it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be, Here, is it Hunting Lodge? Is this the one? Yeah, Hunting Lodge. Let me show you what this is. This is a 4 by 4. Look at this map that's a Hunting Lodge. So all this dark stuff is woods, right? Heavy woods, okay? And then light woods over here. And then is this one light woods? Yes. Okay, so all the darkened areas are woods. This hatched area is a marsh. 2 marshes with a stream that goes between them and a dirt road that goes into the Hunting Lodge on Hill 722, okay? It is a lot of terrain, and what's worse than terrain, it's on top of itself, okay? So I think this might actually be scaled a little bit better for 15 millimeter because this Hunting Lodge, you have this hill that's basically only 1 foot around. It's like little round top, and it's even smaller than a foot around. That's pretty small. Okay, that's just a rise. That doesn't deserve a name. So there's your map, right? So what's on that map? Well, who's on the defense and who's the attack? On the attack. German orders prevent Soviets. Soviet orders control the Hunting Lodge and exit 3 vehicles off the north board edge. Okay, so the Soviets have 3 BT-7s, 2 KV-1s, 2 infantry squads, a sniper team, and an additional variable attachment that could be anything between a KV-2 or 3 T-34s. Obviously, they would be the early ones with the L-11 gun. An infantry squad and a mortar team. I mean, it's just like, what the hell? And the Germans have platoon headquarters, a squad, 50 millimeter mortar, a PaK-36, and a Pioneer squad, and they can have no vehicles. The most they could get if they roll really well is 2 short stud 3Bs. But what are you going to do with 3 BT-7s and 2 KV-1s on that map? Well, you're going to be moving really slow. So I think some of the ranges are suspect. So anyhow, So I've got those three for Russia. I've got two Kursk ones. One is Grossdeutschland at Kursk, and the other one is Red Guards at Kursk. And I don't know why it's not there, but I have the one that's Heroes of Omaha and Panzerlehr, and the Montes Epsom. I almost pulled this one out the other day because we were looking at our British troops. But, yeah, I mean, okay, this one is 2 by 7. That's like a market garden scenario. I mean, you got all kinds of terrain. You got a village, and you know it's just too much. It's just too much to get started. But yeah, here's another one. Look at that cluster of terrain. This terrain is more like what I got in mind to start with. Something like that. It's still only 2 foot wide. That's a 2 by 4. Yep. I think that's exactly what I should do. Just do inspiration on it. This is actually a pretty decent scenario, this one right here. This attack at dawn. It has, the Germans have a couple of Panzer IVs and 2 Panzer Grenadier light machine gun teams and their SS. So if I ever decide to paint SS, that's what I'm going to do. Well, I'm not going to make special SS tanks. You guys can just use the other Panzer IVs. And then the Allies have 3 Churchills and 3 infantry squads. That's a lot of infantry. That'd take you a long time to get through the turn. I don't think there's any scenarios on here that are really small. The Italian one has some interesting scenarios. But this is the scenario I was talking about. Speaking about the Soviets. Let's see what it's called. Is it the final? It's not the final line. It's like the last scenario. I thought it was the last final scenario. Maybe it's not. Steel Tide. Here's the board. Real simple. It's 3 by 4. You got some light woods down here, and you've got a wood fence, right? That's fun to make. And then across it, you have an anti-tank ditch and barbed wire. Okay, that's not too difficult to do. It's only 36 inches of it. So this is a scenario where everybody would play the Soviets. What do the Soviets have? A couple of T-34s and a couple of tank rider squads. So you got a T-34 with a tank rider squad and a T-34 with a tank rider squad. That's it. It's basically, that's how they start. And the Germans start with, and they can have some optional elements. And the base German force is a platoon headquarters and an infantry squad for the Germans. And there's a chance they could get an anti-tank gun, but it's less than a 50% chance. So basically, the T-34s have to get off the board. They have to get off the opposing board. So I think I got enough T-34s for that. So anyhow, I think I'm going to build towards that. If I don't do North Africa next. But let's look at the Soviets. Let's get pumped up about the Soviets. Commie figures. So the first thing I'm going to do that's the least inspiring, I picked these guys up a long time ago. This is a pack of SHQ guys, and this will show you why I'm not excited about SHQ. Let's make sure we get this light in the correct way, facing towards me. Now they're proportioned well, so that's a plus. And I'm not going to bend that back because their rifles are really delicate. But this guy has these are kind of late war guys. I mean, the helmet's the right shape. The face is unassuming, which means you could have lots of guys that have the same face because there's nothing like prominently wrong with them. And he's got the little padded jacket with a canteen. That's it. That's all he has. So if you look at this other guy that's moving, it's just they don't have any personality. They're almost like Airfix figures. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, there's some Airfix figures that are just not very exciting. Now, I have some that are exciting, but you know, they all look like the same thing. Look, this guy's got no equipment on him. This guy has like a container for the shovel to go in. You know, an uninspiring position. They just, you know, they just don't, they're not, I'm not dying to paint these guys. This guy's got a pistol. It's about to break off. Anyways, I'll probably never paint those guys. Now, I think I may have got them because they have semi-automatic rifles. I think that's what they're supposed to have. I see a little magazine sticking out of the bottom. And I don't have too many figures that have the semi-automatic rifles. The SVT 40s, I believe, were a much more common rifle than the German semi-automatics. But there's not that many people that make figures for the semi-automatic SVT 40s. I'll come across some, but it's not that many. All right, the stuff you guys probably never seen before. Some of you guys have. These, I don't know when the hell I got them, but these are previously unavailable and now available again. This is the Soviets from War Games Foundry from the Perry twins in 20 mil. Now, some of their figures are better than others. Some of them have a ton of repeat figures over and over and over again. These guys aren't too bad, and they do have some unique figures. For instance, look at this officer with the Nagant revolver. And he's got a winter jacket on. Let's make sure we get these shadows under. Killing these shadows. Okay, and I think I got a couple of those guys. Yeah, there's two. I'm not sure how I got these. Yeah, it is a good pose. This guy's no doubt a commissar. And they're a little on the large size. This guy does not have a Nagant revolver. He's got a Tokarev. One of those. Then we got some of these Pepe Shaw guys with the early helmet. You can tell it's the early helmet because it's got the comb on the top of it. There's a couple of those that I got. Then we got a guy who's he's home for the holidays here. He's got his little winter type parka or something on there. This looks like a different Pepe Shaw. This looks like the early one. Yeah. This is like what is the PPD? Show you the difference here. Yep. Got one of those guys. What else do we got? A couple of light machine gunners. Nothing great about them. They're okay. They seem to be pretty robust. The alloy on these guys is pretty hard. They do have the early comb helmet, which I don't mind. It's nice to have kind of a mixture of them. They're assistant guys, which would be, that's what I would assume. They're next to them. Two of those. And then we get into two Maxim crews. And the nice thing about these Maxims is it's a minimum of parts to assemble. You basically have the carriage that's, one piece, and then the top, which is another piece. So this thing should hold together pretty well. And it's got two guys. One guy that's holding on, and one guy that's feeding it. Both of them early helmets with combs. Okay, that's the War Games Foundry guys that I have. They make other stuff that I got some German tank crewmen. Those are pretty nice, just like the American ones, right? It was the American ones that I had. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Those guys are really nice figures. But then they got some packs like, I think they make some Indian infantry, and it's like a pack of like 12 guys all in the same pose, exactly the same pose. I'm like, that's not gonna work. That's not going to work. What else we got in here? This is the self-propelled gun crew, for an SU-76. Now, the SU-76s I happen to have the, what do you call those? Now, the crew members by Plastic Soldier Company. So I may use these guys as dismounts. Like when they bail, this is what they turn into. Because there's no reason to cut this guy's legs off and stuff like that when I don't need him inside the vehicle. These are Battlefield / Drew's Militia, Blitz / Battlefield / Drew's Militia. Pretty nice looking figures. Have I painted any Soviets other than Ryan tank crewmen? I have. They're on shitty bases. I'll show you. Remind me to show you those. Watching my live stream yesterday after the fact, you had me rolling constantly. What did I have you rolling constantly? Yesterday? The live feed it was short. Yesterday's was short. I just got on to talk about, was that the one where I was talking about that movie that everybody loved? Except me? Only Hoffman gets me. All right. These are combat miniature guys that I've not painted. Yeah, don't watch that movie. I'm like, oh, Peter Sellers, that ought to be funny. No, it wasn't. He's like, come on, man. What can I say? These figures are old, and the alloy is kind of soft, so I don't know if these guys are going to make it. They're pretty good poses. Kind of hard to tell with him painted black. Here's another one. His rifle, one day he's just gonna go kaput. It's a hero of the Soviet Union type pose. I'd feel a little bit better about the Soviets if they hadn't made a deal with Hitler and split up Poland. In other words, if they were just like commies minding their own business, they hadn't attacked Finland, and then the Germans came after them, and that could be a little bit more sympathetic for them. But again, don't get me wrong. The people on the ground, they didn't ask for none of that stuff either, But okay. So what else we got? We got another guy that's in a similar pose. I'm not going to bend his rifle back. We have a squad leader. Sure looks like a squad leader with his Pepe Shah. Here's another squad leader I started to paint. So they're just standing too. They're kneeling. Repeat figure. That's okay. I don't mind having 2 or 3 of them in the same, you know. This guy has a grenade that hasn't broken off, but his rifle broke off. So we have a broken rifle and can't really replace that. Unless I take it from another figure and break it in its place, but guy trying to wiggle forward. It's got some nice equipment on there. The Wiggler. Is this the same pose? Yep, another Wiggler. This guy's a running. These are some that I think I bought from somebody else. Look at his face. It's a little, you know, like he's went on a date with a flamethrower. Flamethrowers kiss on the first date. Rifleman just laying down. Here's these 2 guys. We got this DP machine gun. The very tip on the end broke off. I bet I could probably replace that, but I don't need to. You're going to see all the machine gunners that I got coming up that are... I've got some awesome looking Soviet figures. Some of them as good as anybody else. And this guy, look, the assistant actually has a Pepe Shah on his back. That's kind of unique. And a tank rifle, 14.5 millimeter goodness. And an officer with a Tokarev. And a mustache. Must be British. How do you say in Russian? I kill me. All right. That is the combat Russians I have that I've not painted. I have a few painted. They didn't make very many of them. They only made like 2 packs of them or something like that. So you got like 12 figures, or maybe they made 3. They didn't make very much. They made a ton of German stuff, a ton of British stuff. Those are the 2 most. Yeah, they had like 6 or 7 packs of Brits. The dogs. We're leaving the best for last. The dogs. FAA. What can I say? I wish they had different faces. Now, with that said, I think a lot of them are usable. Like this guy's face is kind of hidden. But even with his face hidden, he's got some Mr. Bill looking lips. Oh, no! I got a lot of anti-tank rifles. Because that was one. This is the second one. This guy would be his little helper. This is one of these tube rifles. So let's take a look at this guy. Okay. So apparently the Soviets, something I didn't know, they had a hard time getting the Soviets to wear helmets. They just didn't like wearing them. So it should be pretty common to have a bunch of Soviet guys with these type of hats and not helmets. So let's take a look at his rifle.
It's like two tubes, one on top of each other. And the bayonet is like just thrown together on there. He just looks unfinished. Now, with that said, he'll probably paint okay. This guy's kind of in a pensive state. Looks like an Essex figure. Like if Essex made these. Um, this guy's got a shell. But again, look at his face. Holy Crypt Keeper, Batman. Just not a fan of those. Yeah, this is part of some. I got a gun crew. There's a gun crew. So here's another gun crew dude. This is the. Here's your position from Cross of Iron. Remember the Cross of Iron game by Avalon Hill? Squad Leader expansion? There he is. There's that pose. Too bad his face is all jacked up. You know, I got some repeat figures. I could probably do a head swap. I've done a head swap at 15s. I think I'd be okay at 20s. You like the prone one? Got that one. Cheeky. Yeah, they're just. I'm not a fan of cheekbones. Here we go. Here's another over under. A Mosin over under. It looks terrible. You know, if you look at the figure from the back and you don't look at his rifle, the figure's just fine. From this angle, figure's just fine. But that rifle just kills it. It's like it just looks terrible. It's a shame. It looks terrible considering these other ones that I've got coming up. This guy's another part of the gun crew, not wearing a helmet. Looks like Eddie from Iron Maiden. The Trooper! Got a couple of guys here. I don't know what's on the front of this rifle, but it looks weird. Now, it is nice that a lot of these guys have caps because these are the Russians that I pretty much had. I had the combat Russians and these guys. It wasn't until I stopped doing World War II that I got the battlefield ones from Stalingrad. I don't have very many of those guys painted at all because they came out just when I shifted over to DBA. But those figures are incredible. I know. I'm going to show them to you. Another gun crew type guy. This guy passed the ammo, but he's got no ammo. Guy's got a little ammo something or another. This guy lost his head. I don't know what I was doing with him. Maybe I was already trying to do a head swap. Well, this guy be a candidate for a new head because, hell, I've already took it off. The problem with doing head swaps with these guys is the heads these guys are on, I'm not going to put them on anybody. Like, these heads go, they're gone. Here's another officer or something or another. Some guy that's got a semi-automatic. Tokarev. I don't think the Tokarev had a safety on it. Now that I think about it. 8 rounds and no safety. This guy's like a sniper. You remember when those came out? I didn't order any, sadly. Have you seen them? You got to pretend. You got to tell. You've got to make sure you keep your pants on, man. They're amazing, especially for Soviets because it's just like German tanks. Okay, German guys, German figures can look really cool. They're rat bastard Nazis. Okay, but they still incredible equipment and they look very inspirational to paint and play with. The fact that they could do the same thing with the Soviets is really amazing. Yeah, they came out in like 2002. This guy's a pretty decent officer. Why is he pretty decent? Can't see his face. You know, if I get on a roll, I probably will paint these because there's one of these like, okay, let me show you before and after, and he looks like crap. And I don't know why this guy's missing arms. I don't know where he's going to. We got another DP machine gun sitting on the ground. That one looks okay, except even then you can see his freaking cheeks. Maybe he's from Siberia or something. I don't know. And then this guy that something bad happened to him. Caked up. And then this guy definitely had a meltdown. Miscast. Brrr. It's like he was at Herculaneum. You got a Vesuvian facial. Okay. And then the other thing that I did is I got FAA guys in here, but I also have Battlefield guys in here. And why are these guys together? Because these guys all have smocks. And I'm going to use, those little scouts, the little scout type smocks, have like that amoeba camouflage. Yeah, they're on here. All right, the next two bags are split in two different groups. And I don't know why. What's this? This is, I don't know what, of all the Soviets I have, I do not have a 50 millimeter mortar. And that's kind of important. So I bought one. This is an SHQ one. And it's a cute little thing. Look at this little guy. Oh, hold on a second. What? Oh, getting copied on something I shouldn't even be copied on. Comes with two guys and a little mortar. So if that's the case, I'm going to put the mortar on a stand by itself. And that way, when you shoot both of these guys, you can eliminate them, and then a little mortar's there by itself. Anyhow, I picked this up probably 10 years ago. Okay, I don't know why these guys are split in two different bags. What do we have here? We have, oh, I know why. These guys all have pepechas, and these guys have all rifles. So when I did this earlier, there's actually FAA guys in here. Because I was needing tank riders, and a fair amount of them have pepechas. All right, well, let's get into the meat and potatoes, okay? So I've already done a split. So these guys should all be riflemen, not submachine gunners. Okay. And these guys are all Battlefield. And there are some, I have some from like the first Battlefield figures they came out with were called Drew's Militia, were the Battle for Berlin range. And some of those figures aren't very good. Let me see if I can point one out to you. They're not terrible, but here is one. And this is like really late war, even though they had this rifle all throughout the war. It's the semi-automatic rifle for the Soviets. And the detail on him is just kind of soft. It'll paint just fine, but his detail on him is just kind of soft. Now, the detail on the rifle is actually pretty nice. But the rest of it's kind of soft. The face is there, but, he's got the shoulder boards for the late war stuff. And he's got the wraps on the legs instead of boots. The puttees, is that what they're called? Anyhow. That is one of the early figures. And I mean, I got them in the early 90s. Early 90s. Let me see if I can find another one of these guys. Here. This is an early figure from Battlefield. It was called Drew's Militia back then. Okay. He is a rifleman, and he has that helmet with a comb on it. Or it may even be a French one. I don't know how he got a French helmet, an Adrian helmet. Yeah, look, it's got a little emblem there at the front of it, almost like he's a firefighter or something. Early war guys. So that's what they used to look like. And then they came out with the Stalingrad range. And the Stalingrad range have cool ass mofos that look like this. He's got the padded jacket. He's got the light machine gun, carrying it like, he could spray somebody with that. He's got no spare magazines, though. You got 47 rounds. Have fun, pal. And every single one of these figures is different from the other one. So this is the light machine gunner. I'm going to go ahead and sort them while I'm at it. These two, this is an SVT. This is a regular rifleman. Okay. All right. This is a late war. This is the early Drews. Same type of pose. I don't know why they've got the puttees late in the war. My biggest problem with some of these early figures is look at the helmet. The helmet doesn't look very defined. Whereas opposed to this one, this is a superb Soviet helmet. Just superbly molded. It's got the dip there where it's supposed to have it. Okay, 2 light machine guns. We got anybody else that's got a light machine gun? Anybody else? Well, we got another guy with a SVT. This is an early figure. He looks pretty cool. A lot of the early scenarios, even though they didn't have this early, use the squad leader has SVT in it, in like the skirmish campaign ones. Two SVT guys. Here's another guy with an SVT. This is you could tell this is the shoulder boards. This is the Battle for Berlin guys. He's got to be some kind of officer, NCO, something like that. All right, this is one of the Battle for Berlin guys. I'm not the the Stalingrad guys. You can tell that he's got the extra padding underneath. He's wearing a cap, and he's got like extra like bandages or something. It might actually be it's going all the way. It's not unlikely to be bandages. It's just something to keep himself warm. Not only that, look at the pants. They've got the reinforcing there. There you go. You can see that the reinforcing on the knees. And he has a minimum of equipment. But when you have that strap that's dangling from the rifle, it adds like another dimension to it. Just a really cool figure. Rifleman. All right. Here is another rifleman. And he looks like he's wounded. Okay, because he's got some kind of bandaging or something like that on him. This is from the Stalingrad range. Now look how much better the rifle looks than those 2-tube type things. Another rifleman, minimum of equipment, great pose, great face. Basic, but it's got a lot of personality. These are great figures, and I haven't gotten to the good ones yet. Here's a good one. Here's a guy I've already named. This guy already has a name, and I haven't painted him yet. This guy's going to be Colonel Kornilov. The picture actually doesn't do it justice. He's got some medals on his breast pocket, on his chest. He's angry. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got panzers up his ass. All right, we're going to put him where the officers go. Speaking of officers, this looks like another one. Although he may not be really high ranking, it almost seems like he might go with a mortar or something like that. We got a rifleman here. I don't know what the hell he's got. Is that a rifle grenade, maybe? Maybe. It almost looks like he... I'm not sure what the hell it's supposed to be. If this isn't a rifle grenade, then I don't have any Soviets without rifle grenades. It's a rifle, no doubt, so he's going to go in the rifle pile. Here is an incredibly cool figure. It's just a regular rifleman. But look at him. He's got the trench coat. He's in an animated position. Yeah, I don't know if it's wrapped or whatever. I'll have to find out what that is. Great helmet, great crouch. You know, it's a trench coat, so it's an ability to paint something a little bit different. Speaking of crouching, this guy's crouching and preparing to shoot. And then their earlier figures aren't as good. Like this is a guy with an Adrian helmet. I'll have to find out. Were they painted in French colors? I don't know. I'm not really inspired to paint them. Now, they are early war because if you look at the difference, there's something that happened for the Soviets. In 41 and 42, they had different type of markings on their lapels and stuff. This is the originally, if you look at it here, it had see how it's got on the collar. It's like this little squares are at the bottom of the collar, on the tips of the collar, and then eventually they went away from that. Another guy in a trench coat, good pose. I might avoid painting those trench coat guys because at some point I may paint some of these guys as winter. All right, you guys have waited long enough. Let's get to some commissars. Yes, I have about 5 of them. Here's one asshole right here. Why do you call them an asshole? They shoot their own people. That's an asshole. Okay, I'm going to put him with the officers. Here's another guy. Here's a really interesting animated position for a commissar. What's he equipped with? Just a pistol? Cross draw, unless he's left-handed. Wait. No, he's left-handed. Because otherwise the pistol would be... I know too much. Never mind. Didn't put that much effort into it. The holster would be facing backwards otherwise. You know too much about pistols. What else? And then, of course, we've got a few snipers. Look at this guy. Now, this guy's rifle's definitely bandaged up to keep it warm. I don't have any. I don't have any Soviet snipers painted. Oh, here's another commissar. Another guy that's problems. See, this pistol is cross-drawn. The holster is facing backwards. You know, so you could grab it like this. And he's got a Pepe Shah slung on the other shoulder. Here is some kind of NKVD dude. He just has a pistol out. Looks like he's got something behind him, like to hang somebody. He goes with this guy here that's attached to the getting ready to be executed. Where is he? This guy. Which is funny because he's got a Soviet tunic. That'd be a good scenario. You got to come in and stop this guy from getting executed. And when you get close, you realize it's a Soviet guy and you're playing the Germans. Is he pointing down? Oh, is it a pistol? Is it him pointing? Yeah, it's hard to say. He's got a long ass finger if that's not a pistol. I'd say it's a pistol. Look at the top of it. Yeah, I think it's a really bad rendition of a pistol. And this guy, Soviet guy. And again, these guys have some nice detail, like they've got the little crimp on the back of the boots. Put him with the officer. Okay. What else we got? See, I told you there's some cool guys here, man. Speaking of snipers, look at this guy. He's even got wrappings that are dangling off the rifle. That's just cool. That's just really, really cool. Put him in the sniper pile. And I got a lady sniper in here somewhere. Here's another sniper. Covered rifle. You know, this building is perfect for that. A lot of these buildings are perfect for that. But that one that has that top level. Really cool. 3 snipers. I think I got 5. Another guy with a trench coat. Rifleman with a trench coat. Rifleman with a fur hat. What's it called? A ubanka or something? I don't remember. And he's got the little cinch bag in the back. This guy, I believe, is part of the firing squad because he's equipped with nothing. However, he does have an SVT. So we're probably going to use him as a squad leader or something like that. Has no equipment on him. He's got a little shovel something around. I think that's a shovel. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's an ammo pack, something. I'll put him with the SVTs. Here is a commissar or somebody that is reading the propaganda to somebody, reading the sentence. I will kill you because you're a fascist. I think this is another firing squad dude. interesting pose, like he's almost like he's loading, like he's getting ready to load this thing or reloading. Hopefully, reloading. You show up and you didn't even load it down with them. You don't have any rounds in there. Here's another lanky ass commissar. This guy's got a Nagant as opposed to Tokarev. This guy looks like he's surrendering. Be an ambiance figure. Now, I don't know. We'll put him with the specials. And this one's got a flag. The pose is kind of wooden. I put him with the specials as well. And then we got some guy. This one has a flag and has no flag on it, which would have been my preference. I'm not going to bend that back because, eventually it's going to break. Of course, when I got these guys, I didn't know anything about replacing things with needles and stuff. I'm a needle replacer expert by now. What else we have here that's interesting? We have maybe this guy's Kornilov. Here's another guy. Here's a officer rank dude with a map underneath his arm. Here's a sniper. A sniper from the Middle East for the Russians, apparently. He's got a face. He doesn't have a ghillie hidey hole thing. This guy probably should be with, I could see this guy having one of those amoeba smocks. What else we got? Oh, here we go. Here's a commissar with his pistol drawn and the bullhorn. Hey, you worthless peasant, get out there, you son of a bitch. Or something like that. Another rifleman that looks like he's wounded. Yeah, he's got some bandaging on him. The figure starts wounded. Just regular rifleman. Oh, these are the Stalingrad guys. This guy's part of the firing squad group. Some of these guys have really baggy clothes, like this guy. Very baggy clothes. Here's an officer with a map case, and I almost thought he was German. No. Not quite. All right, here is a ghillied up sniper. He's all scrimmed up. Scrimtastic. There's the fifth sniper. the lady. The lady. Ludmilla. She's got an SVT with a scope. I guess that makes her a sniper. Yeah, this is from the Battle of Berlin range. Nice detailing on that rifle. Ludmilla! This guy looks like some guy that would follow one of the light machine gunners. Or maybe he's got mortar. I don't know. He looks like an assistant of some sort or another. Another guy carrying the flag. But then he's got an early helmet. This is one of the original figures. This isn't one of the Stalingrad figures. You can tell the style kind of changed up a little bit. He's over in the specials. We got 3 guys with flags, okay? Who else is over here? Who's this guy? Oh, yeah, this is an early guy. He's just like pointing over here. Got to paint the flag, yeah. It's all red except that, that nasty thing in the corner. And I can show that in videos and not get banned. Here's a early figure. I don't like these early figures. And it's like an early war figure, and it's from their from their early 90s. They're just not as crisp as some of the other ones. So it's like, we'll paint these guys when we're done with all the other ones. Ah, yes. Some guy that looks like Khrushchev. I'm here for the borscht. This guy definitely looks like he's got a drinking problem. What else we got here? We got a guy with carrying some ammo. Early war with a trench coat. How many trench coat guys do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. And not enough to save him for a winter thing. Here's another guy carrying some ammo with a rifle. Not really sure what ammo that is. Another anti-tank rifle. Lanky ass narrow thing. Like a fishing pole. Fishing for panzers. ATRs, put the ATRs together. The most useless figures like this, he's got the little Bangalore, putting the little, this is supposed to stick straight out. We're not going to bend that. Got the plastic explosives or whatever. He's got a Pepe Shah, assault engineer type dude. Not a very, we'll put him over in the specials. What else do we got here? Guy's carrying some ammo. Radio man. Oh, the Soviets with a radio. Wow. Nice detail on the radio, by the way. This guy is all bandaged up. looks like he's got a bandage over his head. And he's got a grenade, which is unusual to see Soviets with grenades. Well, because I don't have any figures with grenades. So. Another cool guy with an LMG. Getting to the bottom of the barrel here. Guy wearing a field cap. Just kind of squatting. Popping a squat. Rifleman. Got a lot of riflemen. It's good. Should have a bunch of riflemen. We need them. It's like we got a Maxim built. Cute little thing. And then I've got some tank riders here that I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put them on stands. Because, you know, in the rifle, SMG, you know, this guy's like an officer or a commissar or something like that. Whoops. I think I'm going to put these on pennies. Maybe these two guys that are literally sitting down on the job, maybe not so believable. But this guy's totally could be on a penny. I thought I had more tank riders than that. Some of them are in the Pepe Shaw stuff, so. Okay, this is a cool commissar. We'll put him over there. And we'll put him over there too. And we got another rifleman here. None of these figures are repeated. Light machine gunner. Prone. There's only one of those per squad. And their squads can get pretty big. Well, I'll tell you to take casualties. Got a guy looking at a map. Pepe Shaw on his back. And these guys are part of some kind of mortar or something. I don't know why I have this. I don't know what the hell this is. I'm not sure what that is. This guy's running one of the Maxims. He just sits up here like this. But I'm going to have the figures separately because if he gets killed, I'd like for him not to be there. And then here's the ammo feeder. And here's another Maxim. Anyhow, pretty cool. Now I'm going to get my baggies and sort this stuff. I'll put all the riflemen in one. These are the Russians, man. These are some of the Russians. Hey, I got your dude. I got your dude based. Base colored. There he is. There's the Hoffman. The Hofmeister. The Hoff. Okay. Another snack bag. Snipers, what do we have? 6? We had 6 snipers. Only one of them is a lady. I only have one female character in all these? There's got to be another one. Don't hassle this off. That's right. He's gonna shoot your big toe off. I got lots of officers and commissars. I'm surprised. Shooting them in the huevos. Yep. Huevos. I'm going to shoot him right in the cojones. I'm going to take all these odds and ends that I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them, and I'll put them all in the same one. Oh, we gained another penny. Ta-da! Oh, we still got more Russians. See, there's some cool guys here. There's some cool guys in here. And the officiers. Okay, and all these are going to go in the one bag that they came from. Which was magnanimous. A magnanimous bag. Okay. What's in here? Oh, these are the Pepe Shah guys, okay. And these are the guys with the smocks. All right, that's where we're at then. Okay. Hoffman, you got to give me a movie recommendation. Oh, you did. I need to find that whatchamacallit, that Idiocracy. Lots of people actually have recommended that one. Okay, so these guys are multiple manufacturers, but they all have Pepe Shahs. And there's some cool cats in here. Guy with a fur hat. Pretty sure this is a Stalingrad range guy. I went through the Germans. Did we look at the Stalingrad Germans? I don't think I did. Here's another guy. Blah! Now, this weapon was selectable fire. You could fire individual rounds. I don't know if you could fire it in a burst. You definitely could do automatic and select and you know, one round per shot, which is weird. You would think that the Soviet one would be the one that was, as opposed to the MP40. You would think that the Soviet one would be the one that you couldn't control the however many, but you know. Now this guy is a late war guy. He actually has. He's kind of hard to tell. He's got armor. He's got armor on. He's got like a breastplate. And I don't know what color the breastplate would be, but yeah, only on his chest. So shoot him anywhere other than on his chest. Recommendation. My boss was telling me today his favorite series is Lonesome Dove. Have I seen that? It's a Western, right? So no. I have seen about as many westerns as black and white movies. I don't hate westerns. I just all right. So let me talk about westerns. My dad did. I didn't. My dad didn't like them. Okay, so I don't have the. I used to watch westerns with my dad angle because my dad didn't watch them. Um, and I don't really care for the weapons of the Old West. They're not attractive weapons. Sorry. Um, it's a part of it. Um, this guy is another guy with a Pepe Shah. So if I do that scenario I was talking about, Marcus, with the tank riders, about half the riders, it's 9 guys, have these weapons. So I have to paint some Pepe Shaw dudes. Here's a guy clobbering somebody with a stick grenade. Um, People may not know this. Well, it's not really common knowledge, but the Germans, the typical German, the hand grenade is the stick grenade, but they use the egg style ones as well. It just the stick grenades are so much more common. Now, this game makes a difference between a stick grenade and an egg grenade. So an egg grenade is a defensive grenade, a stick grenade is an offensive grenade. So what the hell does that mean? Well, it's got less fragmentation. So supposedly the stick grenade, you go in and you blast. Grenades aren't really necessarily to kill people. I mean, yes, they are, but the main effect is a shock. You shock guys, and you go in, and then you go into hand to hand. So you stun them before you go into hand to hand. So anyhow, the game actually differentiates between the hand grenades. They're slightly different. This guy he's got the early helmet. He's captured Teller mine because I don't believe the Soviets had any of these mines, but because the Germans did. And one of the things that they did with being able to deal with the T-34s is the T-34s had a little bit of an overhang on their turret, like really small, so they'd shove that Teller mine underneath there. And if it pops, yeah, that's bad. You don't want a mine. You don't want an anti-tank mine underneath your turret popping it up. That's just nothing good can happen from that. There's quite a few guys that are not battlefield in here. Here's another guy that I believe he was part of the firing squad group. He has a limited amount of equipment on him. Has kind of a terse face, like a you know. More of these boring SHQ looking dudes. Is this both the same figure? No, they're similar. Oh, talk to the hand. You talk to the hand too. Talk to the hand, comrade. No, you talk to the hand. Another hand talker. Raise your hand if you're a communist. All right. This guy's just going on a stroll with his pet Pepe Shah, looks like. This guy's really strange. He's like the boy with the striped pajamas, a little bit like that. He's got some kind of like padded suit, and the legs are padded too. I've never seen that before. Never seen that before, but hey, he's unique. Here's another. What's the little fur hat called? Ubanka? Anyways, the fur hat. The man in the fur hat. Oh, another SHQ floozy here. They're just uninspiring. I mean, they got one magazine and that's it. They're all kind of in a wooden position. They probably paint just fine, but I'm like, I got more exciting guys to paint. Now, this guy, all of these guys are all FAAs. I think there's one guy in here by mistake. Maybe not. All these guys are FAAs. All these guys. All of them. Guy prone with Pepe Shaw. Here's a couple tank riders. Like I said, I'll probably put these guys on a stand. Maybe not him. You know, what's the guy sitting around the battlefield like this? Oh, here's something I don't have. This is either a it's hard to tell from the angle. It looks like it is actually is a Pepe Shaw with a banana clip. I believe that was a 35 round banana clip. I'd rather have the 71 round cylinder, but you know, you get what you have. I thought I had a guy with the PPS 43. Guess I didn't. Anyhow, so these are all together because they're all Pepe Shaw guys. And they're like not officers with Pepe Shaws. So this is the tank rider crew guys. And as you can, I don't know if you can hear, they're kind of a harder alloy, which is good. They don't bend to begin with. And then these guys, last but not least, these guys all have camouflage smocks or something like that. They can either be woolen coats or, oh yeah, I do have a guy. Nope, that wasn't him. Maybe he's in here somewhere. Alternate weapon. But they either have like camouflage smocks, like those amoeba suits, or actually winter gear. And I think these guys have a different equipment. Like for instance, this guy's wearing like a hoodie. It's a cool figure with a light machine gun. Another radio operator. There's at least 2 radios for the Soviets. Another anti-tank rifle. Can't have too many of those. That's what the Schertzen was for. A Soviet flamethrower. This is from the Battle of Berlin range, so the real old ones. It almost looks like a shotgun. Actually, I'd say it is a shotgun if it didn't have this attachment to it and he wasn't wearing the tank on the back. Some kind of junior officer. These are all battlefield. Here's another guy with a Soviet stick grenade. So the Soviets had grenades and stick grenades as well. Their stick grenades are a little bit less, the stick was shorter. Here's a scout from FAA with an MP40. The Germans aren't the only ones with captured weapons. The Soviets have one guy with an MP40. A scout with a Pepe Shaw and a winning lottery ticket that's extremely large. What do you win in a Soviet lottery? A reduction in how much time you have to spend in the gulag. Congratulations, it's only 1 week instead of 2. Ooh, another radio. Wow. Yeah, some of these guys, you know, as much as I'd like to do winter. Oh, here's another useless figure. Nope, here he is, down here. Okay, so here's annoying. This guy has one of them Bangalore torpedoes. This is an early figure by there. Some kind of Bangalore useless freaking thing. And he's got a cool ass freaking machine gun on his back. That looks like this is the guy that I was telling you. This looks like that PPS 43. The guy with the PP. Another sniper. Lame looking though. Lame looking FAA sniper. Another one here. Here's a good example of why their faces suck. These all necky too. Which actually is probably realistic. You know, they didn't even feed these guys worth a damn. Soviets didn't give a shit about their own people. Another guy with a radio? Wow. Now we got a problem. No wonder they won the war. Soviets were famous for not having very many weapons, radios at the beginning of the war. Oh, we have a commissar that has a chest plate. Actually goes over his nads too. And he's got an MP40. What an interesting character. What an interesting character. Cool. Another rifleman with like a smock or two-piece suit or something. I just sorted these separately. Combat engineer looking dude with a Pepe Shine and a suit. Yeah, all these guys have the little hoodie. The hoodie's the giveaway. FAA guys, this one's not too bad. Another one. This is a guy. I'm gonna mount him on the. Says, yeah, shoot him that way. This is a good guy. It's near a tank. Saying, where's that fire coming from? Over there, or shoot over that direction. So that's these. I'm gonna roll into the painted Soviets, as you asked about them. Now the basing on them sucks. They are probably a slight bit glossy also. Other than that, I think they look pretty good. I don't have a whole lot of them. I got maybe a dozen and change. I think I know where they are. I think I know where they are. I think they're here. Along with some other stuff. I've not watched any of the Historicon videos that people put out, including I saw that little boys. Little boys. The Little Wars put out a video on them. You know, I saw so much stuff on Facebook this year about, hey, we're here. Here's pictures of Historicon. And I'm unfazed by it. I'm like, I don't feel like I missed anything not going. I don't know. Does that make you sad? I don't know. I'm okay with it. You know, so this is some of the... Oh, I got some Americans here that look badass. Look at this guy. Crawford. Look at this guy. He's got a Garand. This is a battlefield dude. Make sure we get the lighting in here. Now, he needs some dull coat, and his basing needs to be redone. But he's a great freaking figure. Those line pants are winter quilted pants. Yeah, the painted Soviets are coming up next. This is the little bag that they have from Normandy. Like that waterproof bag. And he's got the bandolier there. It looks better in person in the video you guys are seeing. Always seems to be the case. I'm going to show you this guy as well, because here's LT. I needed an LT for a scenario. So he's actually got, there it is. He's got the bar on the front. He's got the bar on the back. Jeffers. Yep. With his Thompson. This Battlefield's got a decent face. Just a little bit too much shine. That's easy to fix. Fuck, we'll look at the mirror. Why not? Who's this? Ludlow. Rifleman Ludlow. This is this guy's an interesting figure. He is a combat miniatures guy. And okay, so let's take a look at something. Okay, one of the reasons I really like combat miniatures is these guys are really good. They have really good faces, but their feet are kind of like stumpy. Like, look at his boot. It's just kind of like a fat sausage. Okay, it works, but it's kind of like a fat sausage. Kind of doesn't really have a whole lot of shape to it. Take this combat miniatures guy and look at his boot. Look at the shape of his boot. Let's see if I can get it at the right angle. Look at this boot up here. This almost looks like the boot that some of the soldiers have on like Beetle Bailey, like the cartoon. It just reminds me of that. It's like, I don't know, I really like it. And this guy's got a dent in his helmet. I don't know if you can tell. He's got a dented helmet. Anyway, he's just doing his business with the Grand. Oh, this guy's complete. What's he doing in here? Davis. Davis, the BAR gunner. Now, see, this guy, I've already flat coated him. So you can tell he's not shiny and stuff. Nice tip on that BAR. And this guy's got an M1 carbine. Cool pose. This is Moran. Watch that Little Wars TV Historicon video too. They showed some pretty cool games. I don't know if I ever make it up there. However, I did want to play that chariot racing game. Did you guys watch the video where how they built their game room, or part one teaser? That video they did with the freaking music to AC/DC. I played that. I showed that to my wife and daughter, and I go, see, I'm not a gamer. I'm not a gamer. This guy, Varela. Ooh, is he a Puerto Rican? Might be. He's got the big red one on him. And he's a junior officer. Junior officer is an NCO with a Grand. Yeah, there's some really good figures here. But like that one needs to be dull coated and need to redo his base. Look at this pose. Look at this pose, man. You about to get yourself a North American ass whooping. Who's this? Oh, it's Flanagan. There's somebody with a drinking problem. I guess I'm going through the Americans to get to the Soviets. Wallace, we talked about him the other day. Who we got here? Martin. Oh, well, we need to fix that sticker on them. Yeah, they're slightly bigger than the pennies, so you actually have to go around the edge and trim them down. But I'd rather them be a little bit bigger and trim them down than the other way around. This is a Battlefield guy. I like the helmets with the mesh on it. It looks better. They really do look better. What other Americaners do we have in here? All right. Dickerson. And the guy with the Grand. Mar. This guy's got his pants untucked at the bottom. Keep your pants on. And he's got a Tommy. A Thompson. From Battlefield. Battlefield / Drew's Militia, something like that. Who's this guy? Gotta have a Johnson. A running Johnson. Combat miniatures guy. Just need to rebase him. Makes a world of difference. World of difference. Who else we got here? We got a guy with a BAR. Who's this? Terry. I don't remember a guy named last name Terry. This guy's a Battlefield / Drew's militia guy. Higgs. I don't remember having a Higgs. Rhymes with pigs. This is a combat. This is a Platoon 20 figure. I needed an FO. He's my FO. Higgs. Kind of has a big head. It paints up pretty well. It's got a decent. It looks like a human. He's not too cheekbony. He's not cheekbony at all. What other Americaners do we have? That might be it, other than these guys that I was redoing, and this is the 30 cal and the assistant, Abernathy and Downs. And oh, Abernathy's, oh shit, this broke. Now we might have to try to fix that, so because the ammo feed fits right in there. But that's we don't have the tufts on there yet, but yeah. They all look like this way back when, and I've just started a couple years ago just trying to do a couple of them and see how they look. Okay, the rest of these guys are Soviets. So, and these were painted a long time ago, which means that's why the lettering is small on them. So they need to be relettered. And, but I don't know if I'm going to spend that kind of effort on them because, like, for instance, this isn't it. There it is with the cheekbones. Looks like everybody else. He's just a rifleman named Ozen, as opposed to Mosen. FAA figure. A lot of FAA guys in here. Here's a rifleman here. FAA rifleman. Who's this? Alexiev. I probably got the idea of a lot of these names from guys in close combat. I played close combat and look at their surnames and. Ow, that hurt. Let's not do that again. Filshin. Yeah, the uniform color I'd varied a little bit. So if you look at this, the top is different than the bottom just a little bit. I don't like that I use the cover up thing, that I use that color green. I'd probably do something that's a little bit more gray so it stands out from the helmet color a little bit more. Who's this? Semenov. Yeah, this guy has one of them shitty ass looking rifles from FAA. And I got some combat miniature guys so you can see them a little bit. Anufriev. Sounds like a medicine to talk to your doctor about Anufriev. Not very inspiring. They actually don't look as good as I remember them being. Those guys. Those are some of the earliest guys I painted. Petrov. Oh, I missed an American. Did I miss 2 Americans? No, I missed an American. Who's this? Anderson. Yeah, there you go. Another NCO type guy. Or a guy with a Thompson, anyways. I built them specifically for a scenario, so the makeup of is what the scenario actually called for. Let's Let's see, who else do I have that's this guy and this guy. These guys are FAAs, and this guy's FAA. We got a prone guy named Goldenov. Yeah, these FAA guys are just like, eh. The Ami with the Thompson. You liked, what was his name? Anderson? Yeah, he's trying to make something happen. Yeah, he's just shiny. All we gotta do is put some dull coat on him. He's good to go. Redo his base. He's golden. Um, I named this guy after my favorite make-believe Soviet name. I don't know that this is a real last name, but this is Petrushkin. That is Soviet with a pilotka hat. Yes, is that what it's called? The vagina hat? Pilotka. There's a light machine gunner here. And the squad leader here is Bashkin. And they got the markings on the shoulder. These guys are just very uninspiring. You could tell I don't do my blend of my skin that color anymore. I'm probably just going to not redo these guys. Now, some of these guys I did a little bit later. This is combat miniatures guy named Grigoriev, and you can tell because they've got the font in the new format. And look, we don't have the green. It's like a coat, right? It's like a coat or a cloth or something like that. That they just you like wrap things in there like a burrito. Gebev, another combat miniatures guy. What else we got? Budenkin, another rifleman from Combat Miniatures. Who else is left? Goldash, little squat dude. And then the last thing, I think this was from the Stalingrad range, but I could be wrong, is my 81 millimeter mortar. And it has a 4-man crew. We'll take a look at the stuff individually. Yeah, and the rest of this stuff is like, I don't know what the hell these are, crew members of something or another. And this one is really cool looking. This is a cool looking figure. He's wounded. Baranov is wounded, but he is a cool looking figure. Go and fire over there. And here's what you can use a figure that basically is armed with nothing and is covering his ears. He's part of the crew. He's probably, equipped with a pistol or something like that. Kaneshiev. Yeah, these guys are battlefield. Yep. All these guys. You have the battlefield face, which I kind of like their standard face. A guy with a trench coat. Yeah, all 4 of these guys are battlefield. Melnikov. See, he's got the early. See how the markings there are on the tips of the collar. And red's for infantry. They got other things for something else. And the guy with the mortar around. I figured this out after I had painted him. That basically, the nomenclature for women in surnames is basically taking the man's surname and feminizing the name. So in other words, this one, and I think that I got the idea, I didn't realize that until afterwards. This is Soboleva, which technically should be a woman. It basically would be like the daughter of a Sobolev. And adding the A on it makes it a woman. So maybe it's just a woman on the battlefield that, you could blame her for, loading the mortar. So you could blame her for the mortar not landing, you know, where it's supposed to be. But yeah, I think when I pulled that name, I did not know that. Hey, you learn something every day. So this is the Soviets that I have. I don't have very many Soviets painted, but I was just kind of painting them. I wasn't painting them for a scenario per se. So, all right. Well, that was a fun dive, wasn't it? And is that all the figures? That is all the figures. I got more Germans to get through at some point, but we're not going to do that tonight. So this is where we're going to stop for this evening. And we're going to put these guys back. These need a little bit of TLC, and they'll be good to go. But that hasn't really been my priority. I actually painted those 10 partisan guys and ladies. Is there more than one female? I think I have 3 females, but I've only painted 1 so far. The Panzerfaust Patty, or whatever her name is. She's got a Panzerfaust. Why can't I remember? Paulette. Panzerfaust Paulette. Yeah, she's got a Panzerfaust and a pistol or something like that. Okay, so these will have to have the same treatment like these Germans did and have to redo the basing so that it looks like this, and it'll get some tufts on it so that they'll end up looking like, oh, here's Paulette right now. Yeah, so anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed that deep dive, and we'll put these Soviets away, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Happy Tuesday. The girls come back tomorrow, so I won't be on. Well, I'm definitely not going to be on tomorrow night, for sure. But we'll be back soon. All right, folks. Thanks for stopping by. As always, see ya.